All right, guys, welcome back. Episode number 13 going down today. Cleveland Browns starting the second half of their season. Lots of exciting things going down, including a game against the Baltimore Ravens. First things first, however, first thing we're going to do is upgrade Johnny Manziel, something that we've done quarterly this season that we will continue to do quarterly. And with it being the halfway point of the season, we're going to upgrade him, starting with his awareness. At the beginning of the season, Johnny Manziel's awareness was in the toilet, sitting at about the 50-point mark. Since then, we have upgraded it now 32 times. That's where we're sitting right now at 82, which is a great number. Very excited about that. From there, we're just going to work on his accuracy. His throwing power is pretty much good to go at 90. Could be a little better. Some areas where he could use some work, but at the same time, I mean, this is a kid who, as long as you can get his accuracy together, his awareness is basically there. We'll continue to work on it, but short accuracy, not bad. Throw accuracy overall, now up to 86. His deep accuracy, only at 81. We need to work on that a little bit. Medium accuracy at 84. We'll continue to work on those things. But Johnny Football, as of right now, he started off as a 75 overall. Now with those additions, up to 86 overall, which is pretty great. Pro Bowl voting begins today, which is the reason why I wanted to hold off on checking out all the stats until today. No injuries to report. I forgot to check transactions. We'll bring that up quickly. Browns have not had any transactions since week 4. We, of course, not in control of the transactions in this series. As you see, some big contracts signed league-wide. And there is one contract to report for the Browns. Joe Hayden, 7 years, $68 million. Browns locking up one of the best corners in the game. It's a huge money, not unlike the contract he signed in real life. And additionally, the rest of the league, Jimmy Graham, bargain price, barely $6 a year. Going to the Saints, 42 over 7. Richard Sherman, 60 over 7. Huge contract there. Some really big contracts. People spending money. Like it's going out of style. So that's the transaction report. Now let's go over to the season stats. Overall, I would say I'm pleased but not blown away by Johnny Manziel's play so far this year. His numbers are here. He's got 2,218 yards, on pace for almost 4,500 yards in his rookie season. That's a stellar number. Touchdowns, 14. Not bad. On pace for 28. That's a relatively strong output. Picks, however, 12. Too many. 12, to me, going into the season, if I had to pick a number, that's kind of the breaking point for me in terms of what's okay. I would have said I'm okay with maybe 1 a game, maybe 16. And then as the time goes on, he'll cut that in half, down lower and lower and lower. As it turns out, halfway point of the season, he's already at 12, averaging 1.5 picks a game. Too much as far as I'm concerned. He's also been sacked 12 times, been on the run a little bit for his life. 64% completions, that's an excellent number. Yards per game, 277, excellent number. So all in all, I'm very happy with, I would say, all parts of his game, but the picks really bring it down. If I were to give it a grade, it would have been an A. The picks bring it down to a B. I'll just say that. Rushing-wise, Ben Tate has been lackluster. 4.1 yards per carry, not bad, but he's just been hit and miss, which is really the biggest issue. On pace for just over 700 yards this season. 3 touchdowns. Johnny Football has been the most consistent rusher, I would say, on this squad. 296 off 54 carries for him. 6 touchdowns, a lot of those coming on the quarterback. The quarterback sneaks and such. Dion Lewis, 2 carries for 30 yards. Presley and Hilliard getting in there just a little bit. Receiving-wise, Josh Gordon leading this team with 42 catches. Jordan Cameron, meanwhile, leading the team in yardage, 682 yards. Both of them with 3 touchdowns on the season. Tate out of the backfield, 30 catches, 234 yards, 1 touchdown. SANTONIO Holmes, not bad in the 1 spot, 18 catches, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns. Nate Burleson, 11 for 103 and a touchdown. Jermaine Gresham, 8 for 133 and a score. Andrew Hawkins in the slot, 6 for 88 and a touchdown. The last touchdown going to Gary Barnidge, our 3rd tight end in. Aside from that, I would say that generally speaking, I'm very happy with these receiving numbers. Gordon and Cameron are always going to be the 2 biggest targets on this squad for Manziel. Holmes has been decent, though he's got a few too many drops. Now, they don't let you see how many drops there are on this screen, unfortunately. But all in all, I'd say I'm relatively happy. Nate Burleson could be doing a little more in the 2-hole, but all in all, relatively pleased with the receivers. Defensively now, tackles, Carlos Dansby leading the way. Kruger and Robertson there as well. We'll just glaze over these defensive numbers really quick because we don't have anything to do with them. Markevius Mingo, 7 sacks. That's outstanding. Kruger with 3. Bryant with 2. Picks on the year. Lots of turnovers from this Browns defense. Dansby's got 3. Gibson with 2. Hayden with 1. Kirksey with 1. Not bad at all. Kicking-wise, Billy Cundiff has been stellar. 15 of 17 on the season. Good for 88%. Field goal long, 54 yards, which happened this past episode, which was great. Punting-wise, boom. Zoltan Mesko, disappointing at 41.2, but not a lot of punts, averaging just more than 1 a game. Andrew Hawkins has been decent in the return game, 26.7, a relatively good average. Gilbert, the rookie, not quite as so. Punt returns, lackluster kind of all the way around. But that is the Browns stats. We'll quickly check out the NFL stats just to check out some of the NFL leaders, see how especially Manziel compares in the passing game. And as you can see, he's among some pretty stellar company at the top of the list. He's 4th in the league right now with 2,200 yards, but he's only behind Brady, Stafford, and Manning, all of whom have gone to the Pro Bowl. Manning and Brady, surefire Hall of Famers, likely first ballot Hall of Famers. And Manziel above guys like Andrew Luck, Tony Romo, Eli Manning, Alex Smith, Nick Foles, Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, so on and etc. So, all things considered, the rookie not doing too badly. Touchdowns, so far this season, Manziel tied for 3rd in scores with Stafford and Brady. Romo's got 1 more. Manning taking the easy lead with 21. But I don't think anyone expected Manziel to have more touchdowns than Peyton Manning. Manziel, with his 12 picks, tied for 2nd with most in the league. Andrew Luck is the only person with more, though Ben Roethlisberger has half as many touchdowns with the same number of picks. All in all, kind of to culminate those ratings, we'll take a look at the passer ratings. For full-time players, guys who have thrown a lot of passes this season, the only person, Orlovsky would not count for that with his numbers. Manziel sitting in 2nd at 90.5. These numbers aren't super accurate. Obviously, I don't think Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, etc. would be under 90 at this point of the season. But Manziel, 90.5, currently sitting ridiculously high, which is great. Rushing-wise, it's going to be difficult to quantify here any of these numbers. Obviously, the quarterbacks are going to be far down on the list. I'm just double-checking to see if Manziel is, in fact, the league's leading rusher from the quarterback spot. He is, with more rushing yards than Darren McFadden, Joique Bell, Mark Ingram, Stephen Ridley, a lot of these guys. Trent Richardson, which is pretty great. More than Maurice Jones-Drew, now with the Oakland Raiders, which is great. Cam Newton, the next quarterback with 165. So you can see there the effectiveness of Manziel's rushing, which is great. So those are the stats. We'll quickly duck over to awards before going to our practice. We got a game today against a division rival, the Baltimore Ravens. We'll get to that in just a moment. So far, Pro Bowl voting in the AFC. We're not going to go through all the teams right now. We're just going to see where our players sit. In the AFC, boom, Johnny Football behind Manning and Brady, which is great. The running backs, fullbacks, boom. So far, not seeing any Browns. There we go. Josh Gordon in there. Tight end spot, not a surprise. Jordan Cameron top there. Joe Thomas, as always, the left tackle. And there you go. Actually, some Browns here. Charlie Johnson, Alex Mack, Davin Joseph, and Mitchell Schwartz. Not bad. The entire offensive line. Now, that is generally just a weird thing Madden does with the algorithms. Yearly awards, we'll just duck through where Manziel could be. And there you go. Currently the MVP of the league. Okay, I don't buy that. Wow. Johnny Football currently leading the voting for the NFL MVP. Obviously, having the best record in the NFL is a big part of that. I don't think with his numbers, Manziel would actually be considered for the MVP award. Much more likely that somebody like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady would be there. But for right now, we'll take it. More than happy to take it. Rod Chudzinski there as well in the coach spot. Offensive Player of the Year, Manziel, 2nd in voting to Manning. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Giovanni Bernard. This is interesting. Johnny Manziel nowhere on the list. Maybe there's something, and this would be you know what this is. The what must be is these are all players who were rookies in the 2013 season. It's got to be part of the algorithm for deciding these awards. Don't recognize the actual rookies as rookies in this game. So Johnny Manziel, it appears he's not available or doesn't have the option. I'll say not necessarily going to win that rookie award just because of the way this roster works with the game not actually being out yet. But Manziel, there you go. 2nd in quarterback voting to Peyton Manning. Would be wonderful for him to catch that And so currently the MVP, not the Offensive Player of the Year, will not win Rookie of the Year just because of the way the game works. With this kind of being a bastardized roster, a mishmash of Madden 25 and Madden 15. But the important thing is that Johnny Football has won a lot of games, which at the end of the day, whether you think it's fair or not, is having a good season. Some people, specifically one of my good friends I play Madden with, not an online friend, a friend who I know in real life. Not to diss anyone who has online friends. I have online friends, but a good friend of mine who I play Madden with in person on a relatively regular basis really cannot stand when quarterbacks are judged by how many games they win. He says, that is something that is a reflection of the greater team, the coach, because a great quarterback with a terrible offensive coordinator is never going to be as successful as maybe a mediocre quarterback with a great offensive coordinator. And it also reflects on the defense the team has. A quarterback can do all they can to throw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns and have an amazing season, but if the defense is full of holes and just terrible, then it's not fair to judge them by wins and losses, because the defense has a huge hand in deciding that as well. For example, some of the mid-2000s Indianapolis Colts teams come to mind with Manning, undoubtedly, and their Manziel flips just like I wanted him to in the last game. That goes incomplete, unfortunately. But personally, I think it's okay. Some people, they judge quarterback by wins alone. They're like, wow, Tony Romo's terrible because he's never won a playoff game, or he's only ever won one playoff game. Look how, and to me that I would say that I'm kind of half and half. I'm between those two extremes. I factor the wins into it a little bit, but definitely I like to look at the stats and the capabilities that a quarterback has outside of their record, because sometimes if their record is great or their record is terrible, it's not necessarily a reflection of their play. So Manziel clearly benefiting from the record that we have at the moment, and I wouldn't say we're piggybacking off our defense totally. Our defense has played very well, but our offense has also played well. We do have a top 5 passer, top 5 receiver, and the quarterback with the most rushing yards in the entire league. And Manziel, speaking of that, he's going to take off, and he's going to go, still going one man to beat, torn down at the 15-yard line of the practice team. Manziel goes for 41 yards. Caught from behind just barely. That almost went for 7. Didn't quite, but that's okay. That's okay. It gives us some time to kill the clock, hopefully not give the practice team much time at all to set anything up. And Manziel, he's going to take off again here, takes a slide. And any time we get a chance to just eat up 7 yards like that with Johnny Football, slide in there, not risking a fumble, not risking anything, then we're going to do it just because why not? When it's a guaranteed 7 yards, well, just take it every single time you can. Just take it. Manziel here throwing it through the end zone. Nobody available really on that quick slant play. That's all right. 3rd and 3, we have an opportunity to put out this offense. We'll roll to the right-hand side. Gordon just going to sit down in the end zone. Tate, we're going to have him escape to the right-hand side with us. Cameron running the little post route, and he's actually going to be who we go to in the back of the end zone. He makes the easy catch, just using his athleticism to beat his man. It was obvious from the line that he was going to be able to do that. And we give the ball back to the practice team, who put together a little drive before punting it away. We get it at our own 31-yard line. Last episode, we took it to this practice team, won by a score I don't think I've ever beat them by, 28-7. Scoring 3 touchdowns in the practice scenario was ridiculous. Today we're up 14-7. We have the football. With that pass to Andrew Hawkins, we get a big first down. That means that we should be able to run this clock out, provided we're able to get another first down. And wow, certainly Browns turning it up. We beat some teams handily at the beginning of the year. There goes Tate up the gut, keeps his legs moving. Great run there, 16 yards up the gut. And that should seal this one, folks. But as I was saying, early on this season, we were doing a good job in the games of lighting some teams up. And practices, though, were tight. The last couple of weeks, and Tate goes yard again around the left-hand side. First down, lowers his head. We're just going to kneel this one out. But as I was saying, it's been the opposite recently. We're taking it to this practice team offense, defense, everything, just wasting them. Whereas in games, our last few games have been a lot tighter. We did drop a game to the Packers, but even our last couple wins, tight games. But hey, we'll take it. We'll take it all day long, and 2 more kneels, and this practice should be done. I'm going to yawn. I apologize. But I can because we've won the practice. We'll be on in a moment to take out the Baltimore Ravens. This is our second game against the Ravens this season. We beat them earlier this year, really burying them in the standings. And beating them today, we have yet to have our bye week. It's still week 9. We're playing our 9th game. Bye week's got to be coming up soon. I would love nothing more than to take them out and then have a bye week to just rest up our guys with a 5-game lead in the NFC North. That would make me so delightfully happy. Currently 7-1. If we move to 8-1, we go from having a nice lead to having a stranglehold in that division, which at that point allows us to just shift our focus completely to the AFC conference. Just in general, just turn it to everybody else, take a look, see at what's there, and say, you know what, let's take this conference, let's align ourselves properly, get the wins we need, and finish with the number 1 overall seed. That would be so delightful. We're not actually going to call this play, folks, just calling this play to avoid me from accidentally selecting the field goal option and having Billy Cundiff kick the field goal with 20 seconds left for no reason whatsoever. This clock just going to expire. Now at the 6-second mark, should go down from there. And then we are on to Baltimore. And I can stop stalling for this practice to be done. If there's one thing I wish Madden had, it would be a little icon that came up in the corner that said, hey, we've noticed that you can run out the clock and win. Would you like to do that? And then you click yes. And then it just simulates the rest of the game just with a bunch of kneel downs. Because in that situation, when our opponent has no timeouts, it is first down. We just have to kneel the clock out. You know, it'd be nice if it would just do it automatically. The game should have that AI. Madden 15, maybe. Hopefully. Hopefully we'll see that happen. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take on the 3-4 Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens did not play last week, so technically we're up by 3.5 games. We're up by. We're not up by 4 games. We're up by 3.5 games. But that's fine with us. Hopefully after today, we'll be up by 4.5 games and really take a big stranglehold on this division. Browns hosting the Ravens, the team that used to be in Cleveland. For those of you who are maybe younger NFL fans, I'm relatively young, but I've done my homework when it comes to the history of the NFL. To a degree, I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I know quite a bit, fairly knowledgeable about the history of the NFL. And in 1995, the Cleveland Browns packed up, moved to Baltimore, became the Ravens. The city of Baltimore had previously played host to the Colts, who moved to Indianapolis, kept their name, but in moving the franchise to Baltimore, the previous owner, I think still the owner in Baltimore, though I could be wrong on that, changed the name to the Ravens. And the big shot for that was that the first draft ever for the Ravens, maybe the second draft. It could have been the first draft or second draft, I'm not sure. The Ravens selected 2 players in the first round. Jonathan Ogden, Hall of Fame left tackle who anchored that offensive line in Baltimore for more than a decade, and a little guy named Ray Lewis, somebody who I think we all know at least a little bit about. And the fans in Cleveland who were witness to a terrible group of teams for a long, long time. Cleveland has perennially been terrible before and after the move, unfortunately. Had to go and watch their teams continually do well in other places, which is too bad. Here we're simulating a penalty hurts us big time. Ravens driving, and on 3rd and 1, they finally throw an incompletion deep in our territory, and our defense gives up a field goal. Our defense has been solid this season, but this is the second straight game, actually third straight game, where they've allowed a field goal before we even take possession of the football. Not the end of the world, though speaking of the end of the world, Tate gets slammed in the backfield, loss of 4 yards. That hurts on our first play from scrimmage. We look to hand the ball off. Tate muffed in the backfield, just mauled. Manziel standing in now. He looks over the top to Cameron, who makes the catch, makes one man miss, and he's off to the races, up to the 40-yard line, just over to the 39-yard line of the Ravens. Cameron, great play, makes the catch and keeps his legs moving. You can see there just what a great move on the safety. Speaking of that, we should introduce you to this Ravens team and introduce you to the individual who just got muffed, just got his lunch eaten by Jordan Cameron, the most dangerous tight end in the National Football League. We'll go over to the wide receiver page, do our little change up that we cannot save permanently for reasons that don't make sense, and then we will go to the Ravens page. We've already seen this team once, but we'll reintroduce you to them. Joe Flacco, Ray Rice, what's left to be said, Henry Hynoski, the fullback, wide receiver Steve Smith, Torrey Smith, Jacoby Jones, and Deontay Thompson, tight end Owen Daniels, Crockett Gilmore, left tackle Eugene Monroe, left guard Marshall Yanda. He's injured, so the starter going to be, oh, no, not him. He's injured as well. Who knows who the starter is going to be? Probably Ja Reed, unless he's going to be starting at right guard. Center, Jeremy Zuda, he's hurt, so Gino Gradkowski starting there, right guard Ja Reed. Backup AQ Shipley, probably starting the other spot there. Right tackle Alex Barron. Lots of injuries. Offensive line decimated on this squad. Corey Redding, Chris Canny, the ends. Nose tackle Haloti Nagata, the guy who's going to be lining up opposite Alex Mack today. Terrell Suggs, he's healthy today. Daryl Smith, C.J. Mosley, the middle linebackers. Elvis Doomerville on the other side. Not fun. We go from playing the Chiefs with Tamba Hali, Justin Houston minding that outside to a killer group here. Not fun, but necessary. Ladarius Webb, Jabari Greer, Jimmy Smith is hurt, so Chicky Brown and Asa Jackson, the corners today. Free safety Darian Stewart, strong safety Matt Elam, kicker Justin Tucker, punter Sam Koch, Jacoby Jones, the returner for both spots. So that is your refresher on the Ravens, and this is our game for them, against them. Game number 2 on the season, a chance to really bury them in the AFC North. Let's do it, folks. Let's do it. We go on the quick out to Burleson, who drops the football. Cameron probably would have been the better option on that play in retrospect, but retrospect is 2020, of course. Hindsight is 2020, though hindsight and retrospect are basically the exact same thing. Holmes will send him on the zig route. He's pretty effective with that double move. And speaking of effective with the double move, Manziel is flushed. We look to go to Cameron. We can't get the ball out. But fortunately, Manziel, 6 yards around the left side, flushed from the pocket. That is a play that takes a long time to develop. And that time, not quite enough time. Comes very close. Not quite enough time for that play to develop. And so Manziel takes off, gets the positive yardage, which is great. Looking to go here to the screen pass on the left side of the field, but Manziel comes free, and he should be able to take off. He makes one man miss up the sideline, strips a tackle, 21 yards up the right-hand side. Johnny Football taken off, and that's going to be a thumbnail, folks. Sick run there from Manziel up the sideline, and making a man miss, gets a great block up the sideline, and I love it here. Get the thumbnail of everyone just giving chase like mad. And there we go. 3 Ravens giving chase. Manziel gets the first down. And more along the sideline. Credit Jordan Cameron for being there. Throwing the block. Gotta love it when the receivers out in the field can turn it up and block appropriately. And, Joe Thomas got fleeced on that play. Cortland Upshaw absolutely decimated the future Hall of Famer, who this season, to be perfectly honest, has been a bit disappointing. Joe Thomas, I thought he was going to be almost like a Pepto-Bismol plug, just a cork on that side of the offensive line. He was going to stop everything. The reality is he hasn't been bad, but he's been far from an all-purpose plug to just seal that side. So we'll see that we'll see what happens here with the third down play. Gordon, Gresham, and our favorite target on the day, Jordan Cameron, not in right now. We'll get Gordon running the zig route. Burleson, everybody just clearing out here. Tate will be the delayed option, and we'll check it down to Josh Gordon, who steps in easily for the touchdown. Johnny Manziel's 15th passing touchdown on the year. Gordon celebrates, leaps into Johnson's arms, and that is a great drive. Opening drive of the day. goes for a a touchdown, first score, and unfortunately, Jordan Cameron, the reason he was not in, strained tricep. He will be back in the game, but we're going to give him a rest until he's perfectly healthy. Gresham will check in the meantime. Fortunately for us, we get a punt out of the Ravens. Credit the excellent Browns defense for queuing that one up. We get the ball back, and wide open in the zone is SANTONIO Holmes, brought down from behind, but not before he goes for 29 yards, down to the 43-yard line of the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens defense so far not holding a candle to that of the Chiefs. Browns running all over them, and we're going to go again. Wide open play, and that is overthrown. Johnny Football overthrows Josh Gordon, who may have had even enough clearance on that route to go yard. Instead, it goes for an incompletion. 2nd and 10 upcoming. That's disappointing. That should have been, by all means, a score, or at least a big play. Instead, it goes for nothing. 2nd and 10. We hand it off to Ben Tate, who bounces around the left side, and he's got room. He's got blocks. He's off to the races. Terrell Suggs brings him down. Wow. Great play there by Tate. 30 yards off the left-hand side, and that is stellar. Absolutely phenomenal. Wow. Tate's big run on the day. A guy who didn't have much success at all last game really makes a sweet play there around the left-hand side. Credit the blocks. He had 2 guys charging up the field alongside him for the extent of that drive. Wow. Great stuff. Offense officially firing on all cylinders. Manziel doing it with his arm, doing it with his leg. Tate, wow, bounces outside there. Great stuff. And we'll see how this one turns out. Play action here, deep in red zone territory. Gresham going to be the primary receiver here. Safety pinching up. Would love to see that as a blitz. And he does come, which means that the corner is available, which means that Gresham scores. Manziel to Gresham. Manziel's second score in as many quarters. 14-3 the score. Browns fans going nuts against the hated Baltimore Ravens, a team that perennially beats the snot out of the Browns twice usually. Great stuff. The offense for the Ravens comes out, and they're driving well, efficiently. Fortunately for us, they finally finish off the drive, and that's interesting. We get the ball at the 44-yard line. I wonder if that was a turnover on 3rd down. I didn't see that. Maybe just a great punt return. Who knows? We'll find out at the end of the game with the stats. As it stands, great opportunity here, and Tate bounces it outside for the 2nd straight drive. Left side, 6 yards on 1st down, bringing up 2nd and 4. That is excellent. And on the slants play, we'll look to just move the pocket a little bit. We'll get Holmes running the zig route, everybody left to right. And Gresham going to turn it upfield. He'll sit down in the pocket there, and between the hole and the zone, makes the catch, 1st down. Manziel absolutely stellar on this day. Missed Gordon going long, but aside from that, has been on fire. 2 touchdown passes, throwing the ball with authority. Great stuff. And we'll hope to see that continue. Holmes in motion. Play goes up, and Holmes just sits down in the hole in the zone. Nobody around him. Makes the catch, 4 yards. Manziel 7 of 9 for 112 on the day, which is a great start for him. Gresham taking advantage. Wasn't available on that play, but taking advantage of the injury to Jordan Cameron, getting some extra playing time, looking very sharp so far. Manziel with the pressure, rolls left, and he's going to throw this one away as he heads out of bounds. May have been able to get 1 positive yard there, but I didn't want to risk Manziel getting rocked that closely to the sideline. And so on 3rd and 6, we're going to have to call something here that'll get the ball moving upfield. I'd love to hit this screen pass here to Tate to the strong side of the field. He's had success breaking contain on this defense. Manziel gets the ball up, blocks in place. Tate heads straight up the field perfectly. 1st down there. Great block set up in the flat. Blocks played out well. Very nice job by all those offensive linemen getting out there, using their speed. Speed, a very underrated, I think, quality in offensive linemen. A lot of guys, when they're drafting offensive linemen in Madden, they say, boom, the strength is good, boom, the run blocking's good, boom, the pass blocking's good, done. The reality is you got to check out those acceleration. Dion Lewis rocks up the right-hand side. Everybody contributing today. Dion Lewis, the little guy, lays somebody out. Man, I'd love to see who that is. But as I was saying, you got to check that acceleration, that speed, especially if you want to run a lot of screen plays where they're pulling or sweep plays where the guards are in motion. Because if you have a guy, even if he's 96 strength, stellar skills and blocking, if he's got 55 acceleration and 48 speed, he's not going to be able to pull off those plays, those pulls, those moves. Very important to double check. Here, Manziel up the gut. He's going to take a slide there. Joe Thomas, a perfectly executed cut block on the left-hand side with the Baltimore Raven defenders all bouncing back in his own coverage. Manziel just takes advantage of that space. Joe Thomas, a hell of a play there. That buys us an easy 7 yards on first down, bringing up 2nd and 3 from the 4-yard line. Manziel rolling right. He looks to the back of the end zone. Can Holmes hold on? He does! Manziel, 3 touchdowns in the first half, 21-3 the score. He has been on fire today, folks, and we're not even at the 2-minute warning yet. Ravens get the football back, and they're forced to punt. 3 and out. Great play, great possession there by the Cleveland Browns defense on that dangerous Baltimore Ravens offense. You got the Smiths at the wide receiver spot. Joe Flacco, nothing to shake a stick at. Ray Rice, a very talented halfback, and so far they're doing a great job on that squad. That play, Gresham unable to hold on. With 1:38 left, I'm almost tempted to just run the ball here. And if Tate's not able to get the first down in the next 2 plays, just punt it back to the Ravens with not a lot of time left. Mind you, the Ravens could call their timeouts. On first down, Tate gets 4 yards. Ravens not calling their timeout. That means we can get the clock down underneath 1 minute. And being this deep in our offensive zone, I think this may be the best course of action. Just run the football here. We'll run it behind Joseph and company on the right side of that offensive line. And this will give us a chance to just let this game breathe. We've been on fire here, folks. And give this offense a chance to just take it easy on this last drive before the half. Hopefully, following this play, the Ravens will not call their timeout. I imagine they will, but even then, they should have great field position, and they should have limited opportunity to move the ball upfield again with the punt coming. Zoltan Mesko into the game to punt. We see him there standing at the 2-yard line. 52 seconds for the Ravens to work. 21-3 the score. Ravens got to get to work. Even a touchdown, still a 2-possession game at that point for them. Jones makes the catch at his own 45. Up the right-hand side, and he's got room. Finally brought down. Looks to be Barkevius Mingo there. No, that's Curry. So maybe we make a mistake there, getting conservative at the end of the half. Ravens driving a little bit, and they go to the end. No, they get down to the 1-yard line. Incomplete pass, penalty against the offense, completion for 8 yards, and they kick the field goal. So they get the field goal. A little bit of a scare there getting down to the 1-yard line. But with us receiving to start the second half, quite content. I don't necessarily regret that decision. Maybe it would have been good to stay on the aggressive side of that, especially with, I guess, Torrey Smith, a very dangerous return man, back there to make the play. But don't necessarily regret it. Here we go, and Manziel, can he get up the sideline? Does to a degree. 7 yards there. We had a check down option of the fullback. We decided to run it instead. The fullback, I don't think would have been capable of getting 7 yards on that play, so I'm content with that. Manziel heading out of bounds, so fumble wasn't as much of a risk as it sometimes is. Looking to the short option here, I think. Cameron in the flat, he makes the catch, he turns it up, knocked out of bounds, but not before he goes for 13 yards. Manziel, 73% completions on the day, 156 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Very exciting indeed. We'll go here to the staying in the pass game. I'm looking to, it's hard to balance sometimes, whether you want to stay aggressive because it's been what's working, or you don't want to say complacent, but be a little more, don't take as many risks, be a little more conservative, I'll say. And so far we are staying in the pass game, being a little more aggressive. That was an aggressive throw to Cameron. He managed to keep his body position, stay in front of the safety. Otherwise, that ball may have been going the other way. Here we'll look to hand it off to Tate on the right-hand side. Big hole for him. Joseph eventually not able to hold the block, but still a 5-yard gain for Tate off the right-hand side. 7 for 41 for him on the day. That's 5+ yards per carry. And that's all you can ask from your halfback, really. Tate having a stellar day. On 2nd and 5, we'll look to put this one in the air. Cameron wide open. We lead him up the field. He makes the catch over the shoulder. Touchdown. Elvis Dumerville caught way up in the formation. And this has been what I believe is Johnny Football's first 4-touchdown performance of the season. We kick it back to the Ravens, and they go 3-and-out. And folks, if we're able to score here, I think it's officially time to say that the route is on. 28-6 the score. Browns have scored a touchdown on every one of their possessions today. Tate has been effective along the ground. Manziel has run effectively. He has passed very effectively. And all in all, the Baltimore Ravens defense has had no answer for this Browns offense that after a couple of lackluster games has really, really picked up their socks today. Nagata, the nose tackle with the tackle there. Tate goes for just 2 yards. 3rd and 6 now. We'll look to the shotgun to get this first down. Gordon in the slot. Gordon just clearing out on the quick out route. Cameron running the post. Holmes sitting down. I'm going to get Tate running the out to the right-hand side. Would love to hit him, but we don't have to. Gordon, the primary receiver, makes the catch, goes up the sidelines. Good for an 18-yard reception. Gotta love Gordon. Always turning those 4-yard catches into big gains, doing the exact same thing there. 28-6 the score. Man, oh man, oh man. Ravens, no answer today. And here we go again to Cameron streaking up the slot. Great play, and he is hurt. Cameron goes down with an injury. That is too bad. He missed time earlier on in the game with Gresham stepping in. Hopefully he is able to come back. I did select Gresham when the option came up, so Cameron should not have been back in the game unless he was totally healthy. We'll hopefully get an update on that soon. Burleson clearing out. He makes one-man miss, strips a tackle, up for a gain of about 8 or 9. We'll see here. I'm not sure, and is it a gain of 8 at the 5-yard line? 2nd and 2. Here we go. We'll get slot cross going down. Manziel, 6 straight completions. He's been stellar today. Gresham, bound to be the number 1 target on this play. He makes the easy catch, easy score. Webb with the tackle, but it was too late. Gresham, his 2nd score on the day, I believe. And with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, we're just going to sim this one. And Jordan Cameron has a torn shoulder labrum. Hopefully that won't keep him out for too long. I have no idea how long that injury is bound to last. But anytime you hear that word torn, I worry a little bit. Hopefully he misses. If he does have to miss some time, he doesn't miss much. He is a very, very important piece of this offense, and hopefully he'll come back as soon as possible. Tate, a nice little spin move there. 5-yard reception out of the backfield. Clock ticking. We'll go slot cross here. Guys converging over from the slot positions. Gresham and Gordon. Hopefully one of them comes free. Gresham does. We check down to him. He turns it upfield, and he gets very close to the first down. 3rd and inches at this point. I think the best course of action is just to hand this one off to Tate, who's been very consistent today in gaining positive yardage. Just I formation. If this one is not successful, we'll easily be able to pop it up. Quarterback keeper. For the first down. This will be the last play of the 3rd quarter, folks. Tate bounces it back inside, falls forward for a gain of 5 yards. That is excellent. Browns routing the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Barring some type of crazy shift in momentum, we are going to move to an 8-1 record on the year, leading the AFC North by a total of 4.5 games. Which is not insurmountable. We never want to get ahead of ourselves, but at the same time would be a hell of an accomplishment, I think, certainly for this squad that coming into the season, not a lot of people had atop many lists. Manziel on the run, and it's knocked down by Webb. There, Manziel throwing his first risky pass of the day. I don't think it would have been a risky throw. I think Gresham, the receiver, was open. The issue was Manziel on the run, not able to throw that ball up and over quite enough. And so the trajectory is what's risky. the situation what's risky, but still a fine play there. No harm done. And we'll check down here to Tate, who just sat down in front of his man. Smith makes the tackle, but not before Tate goes for 8 yards on the second play of this third quarter. We'll get Tate running just up the gut here, dive weak, with Hilliard crashing over from the right-hand side of the formation to throw a block. Hopefully we get the first here. Tate bounces it outside. Smart move. Bouncing it there. 5 yards for him. He's been averaging 5 yards a carry on the day, which is stellar. We'll go right back to him. With the score being what it is, with us being almost in field goal range, I think it might just be the best if we just let Tate run this one out. Certainly, that would be a solid way to go. Just killing as much of the clock as possible, letting him chew up the yardage, and injury timeout called. I believe that was on the defender who made the tackle. Do not believe that was Tate. Sure enough, Tate back in healthy for his run on 2nd and 6. The clock stopped because of that injury timeout. So Tate to carry on the right-hand side. He bounces it outside. He breaks this one. He could be gone. One man to beat. Brought down. Tate goes for a 31-yard gain around the right-hand side. Stellar game from this entire Browns offense. I mean, phenomenal. Johnny Manziel having a career day. He's got 5 touchdown passes. And with the Browns showing goal line, we're going to go ahead, see if we can just roll out, give it to Gresham, who's going to use his speed, comes wide open in the flat. Nobody near him. Touchdown, Manziel to Gresham. We're not skipping a beat with Cameron out of the game. And the drive for the Ravens, they're putting together a drive here. Lots of passes called in succession. And finally it finishes off, and it turns out actually finishes off in a turnover on downs. The Ravens not content to kick a field goal at this part of the game. And 3:41 left. We're just going to hand this football off, I think. I'm tempted to super sim on our way out of the game, but I think it's best to close it out. Just let our guys do it. Tate on pace for his second 100-yard game of the season. That 31-yard carry getting us towards the goal line in that last drive really helps. And Johnny Football, this could be his first career game where he's likely going to finish without a rushing touchdown. However, he's got 6 passing touchdowns today. That is ridiculous, and certainly going to help his numbers. At the halfway point of the season, as we discussed, he had, of course, earlier on in this video, 14 touchdowns to 12 picks. Well, now that ratio at 20 to 12, certainly looking a lot better. No picks today, which is really great. Now we get the speed back. Dion Lewis checking in for Ben Tate, who's left the game for a quick rest. We will snap this football. This will be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Lewis caught in the backfield, goes for no gain, actually a loss of 2. Elvis Dumerville with the tackle. One of the first solid plays where the Ravens defense really came to show up. They're on that one, 2-minute warning. And we'll go ahead here, get the, let's call the halfback draw. Tate back in this one. This is a play that hasn't worked out well for us this year so far, but we may as well experiment given the circumstances. And Tate tries to take it around the right-hand side. Nothing doing. And clock running. We're just going to go ahead, let him run it up the gut. That might have lost him his 100-yard game. So hopefully on this carry, he's able to get some positive yardage, even if he doesn't go for a whole lot, and gets him back into the 100-yard territory. Because generally speaking, I'm not a huge fan of stats. I don't really think they're important, particularly from the running back spot. You know, it's mostly about running the ball. It's mostly about managing the game, protecting the football, playing the clock, that type of thing. But when the score is 42-6, then it's always nice when you can worry about the stats for a little bit. So Tate takes the ball, goes up. He's smashed from behind by Terrell Suggs, who then injures himself. Just not the day for the Ravens. They call a timeout. We're going to punt this one off with 1:13 left, and hopefully we can just sim the rest of this game. Mesko punting from his own 28-yard line. Ball's going to come down to Smith at his own 19. He goes straight up the field, breaks one tackle, brought down now at the 31. And the sim option will come up. Hopefully this game will just sim itself out. If not, we'll take a knee. And we do get the ball back at our own 9-yard line. So it looks like the Ravens punt hopefully given that they don't have enough timeouts to possibly get us to fourth down, they will not call a timeout here. This game can just finish off with the kneel here. Unfortunately, that looks to be the case. This is the part of the game in real life where both benches would clear, the head coaches would congratulate one another before the final whistle even went. And we may as well call a play. We'll go into an alignment, into a formation, just to see this ball, or see this game finish. And there you have it, folks. 0's on the clock. Browns take it by a dominant score of 42-6. They outscored the Ravens, who had the first score in this game, 42-3 down the stretch. Dominant performance from our offense, defense, special teams, the whole 9 yards. And we'll quickly run through the stats for you. Johnny Manziel, 21 of 26, 270 yards, 6 touchdowns, 0 picks. Stellar game from him, the best of his career by far. Ben Tate, 18 carries, 105 yards. Manziel, 5 for 39. I expect we should get the Ravens in there as well. Flacco, 17 of 27, 154. Zippos there. Ray Rice, 19 for 63. Receiving-wise, Jordan Cameron, though he got hurt, led the game. 6 catches, 130 yards, and a touchdown. Gresham, what a game for him. Jermaine Gresham, who was brought in through a trade earlier this season. 5 catches, 33 yards, 3 touchdowns after Cameron got hurt. Steve Smith led the way for the Ravens, 5 catches for 56 yards. But SANTONIO Holmes, 3 for 37 and a score. Excellent game. And Josh Gordon, not a lot of yardage, but he scored a touchdown, which is phenomenal. Defensively, Carlos Dansby, 7 tackles. C.J. Mosley, Matt Elam, DARYL Smith led the way for the Ravens, tied with 5 apiece. Barkevius Mingo had the game's only sack, no interceptions to speak of. Justin Tucker was 2 for 4 today. Billy Cundiff, 0 for 0. Sam Koch, an average of 45 yards per punt. Zoltan Mesko, disappointing, just 37.5. He's been bad this season, quite frankly. Kick returns, boom. Punt returns, boom. And that is the game, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. Until tomorrow, have a wonderful day. This has been episode 13, and Browns kicking it at 8-1 at the top of the AFC North. Stellar stuff. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow for episode number 14. And until then, I am Tuxedo T-Shirt, and I'm out.